Alright, so today I felt like kind of going over the tier list, but more than just what decks I think should be on or off the tier list, but more of how the format kind of changes when you look at best of one versus best of three. So in best of one, I think Karakuri is solidly the best deck. In the last KC Cup, it really showed that it was like borderline tier 0. Just because if you go first with Karakuri, um, it's such an impressive strategy that you draw so much cards and then you get so much card advantage, and your restart doesn't matter, and it's so consistent. And like all the cards that you're running are like minus ones, but because you get so much free card advantage off of Burrito, because you get the free negates and you get the free battle switches, you get so much draw power. It doesn't matter if all your cards are minus one, you just get the cards back. Um, so I think um, if you look at last KC Cup and to this KC Cup, you gotta ask what actually changed about Karakuri, and the answer is not a whole lot. It just doesn't run True Nade, and True Nade really helped the going second power, which I think that's what made it like a tier 0 deck in the previous KC Cup. But now without the True Nade, it's still close to tier 0, but I think it's like a really strong tier 1. So I think in a tier 1.5 you can do control Shiranui. And so the placement of control Shiranui is mostly based upon the fact that it can kind of compete with Karakuri. Nothing is really on that same level, but that's why I think Control Shira is like roughly close. Actually, I'm not even gonna put point 0.5. I'm gonna do point 0.6 just to bother anyone who really cares. And then in tier 2, I think combo Shiranui. I think Crystron's definitely, actually maybe a little lower. Crystron's are a very strong strategy, especially in. Actually, they might even be on the same degree as Control Shira. Like, they're really good. So I think more people at this point understand how good Crystron's are. The wielder plays, like, enable a lot of aggression, which is very good in this sort of like meta, because summoning like an Undyne and then going into wielder puts on so much pressure, because they have to activate cards then, otherwise wielder like does so much, gets them so much value, and then because they have to act early to stop like the wielder play, they can't do anything to the Sulf, or they need multiple interruptions to stop the Sulf uh, play. Okay, is it a controversial opinion to say I don't think Blackwings are very strong? Like, a lot of people will run Blackwings, but uh, I don't think Blackwings have very many good matchups right now. Um, Against Karakuri, like, the point is that Karakuri is such a strong deck going first. Like, Blackwings want to go second, yeah, but if you're going second against a deck that wants to go first and a deck that sets up a full board with like typically set 3, how much do you really want to go second into that, you know? It's like you want to go second to OTK, but going second means that you're playing into a back row. And Karakuri, because of the draw power, it's gonna have like at least 2 interruptions. So I think I think I'm it's honestly like around tier 3, I think. I think Hiro just like does not have a place. Um Karakuri matchup. Karakuri is really bad because Karakuri Cash Cash, or not Cash Cash, sorry, Cash In is both a negate and a battle position change. So it can negate a starter, so it can negate Ferris, for instance, but also if they like try to commit to a Trinity play, then they just switch the Trinity to defense, and then you just wasted three monsters to try to OTK, which failed. So I think Hero in this format, it's sad to say, but Hero is it's kind of bottom of the barrel in this situation, just because the Karakuri matchup is terrible. Also, the Crystron matchup is also very bad because Crystron's like Amatrix to defense really kills a lot of their powers. Like you need to see Plasma, otherwise you lose every game against Crystron's. It's really it's not a good look. I guess the Control Shira matchup is favorable, but actually that might not be true anymore because Control Shira is more likely to run Needle Sealing to counter Karakuri. So there's just so many things working against Hero that I don't think it's in, say, at least the top three tiers. So I'll be honest, I don't think Roids are very good, and hopefully this explanation will um, diplomatically convey my opinion. Roids are very good at punishing the very aggressive spam the board decks. Um, uh, and I say that with a asterisk. Yes, it can be good against the very aggressive decks like Blackwings, for instance, maybe Hero, but the decks that can really control the game and like play slow, they they don't struggle against Roids that much. The decks that can like if Roids have Kyoroid, like some decks kind of just lose because they don't have any play besides just slamming their head into their opponent's life points and hoping they die. And Kyoroid really, I mean, it's good for stopping that. Um, but if a deck can like play around Kyoroid and Destiny Draw, or it can just set up some way to win in the event that their opponent does get to Alistair or such. Point of Roids is to just stall until they can see Alistair and then make an invoked play. Um, you barely win off of. I don't know. I don't think the Roids do a whole lot. Is really just hoping that your um, Roid cards can just like cheese your way into an Alistair or invoked play. One strength it does have is that it can punish a lot of bad players. So a lot of people are not very good at playing around Kyoroid. They'll just like swing in and then they'll trigger skill, and then they're not gonna like consider, hey, if there's a Kyoroid I could lose here. They're gonna just like swing in and push. But um, just like relying on your opponent to mess up is not a it's not a reliable strategy. Ritual Beasts. Okay, Ritual Beasts kind of lose to Karakuri. I think it beats combo Shiranui kind of. They might beat like Blackwings or some of the other decks around here, but they just don't beat Karakuri. I think they also lose to Control Shira. That's a that's an opinion not a lot of people agree with. I know some people, for a while, like Ritual Beast was believed to be the counter to Shiranui. However, I think Control Shira, like the existence of Ballista Squad, hurts um, Control Shira too much. Combo Shira doesn't really run Ballista Squad, so that's why it still has a good matchup there. Crystron's Wielder just makes the deck more aggressive, so it's harder for Ritual Beast to compete with that. Okay, so Witchcrafter. Alright, I'm tempted to not even put Witchcrafter on here because like wherever I put it, someone's just gonna laugh about it. You know? Like how strong do I think Witchcrafter is? I think Witchcrafter is very strong. I think it's potentially a tier 2 strategy. However, nobody else believes me. It's just I think especially in best of 1, I think it might be weaker. Um so I could understand it being for a best of 1 format, it could be in like tier 3 because Karakuri is so like dominant, you have to consider your Karakuri matchup above all else. So I think the Crystron matchup is favorable. The Control Shiranui matchup is favorable, but the Karakuri matchup and the Combo Shira matchup are bad. So I think you have to put Witch in tier 3 in a best of 1 format. Alright, so Magician Girls. So the Karakuri matchup, for those that don't know, Magician Girls has one of the best Karakuri matchups. I think it's one of the only decks that like reliably can beat Karakuri. Against Crystron's, once again, it's a back row deck, so it has Floodgate, it has Fiendish Chain, it can potentially have Needle Sealing. All of these are strong tools against a combo deck like Crystron's. Um, Against Control Shira, um, I'm not entirely sure how this matchup goes, I'll be honest. Um, Alistair generally very strong against Shira, however, um, Control Shira is a back row deck, Magician Girls is a back row deck, so they have their pros and cons. Um, I think, okay, Combo Shira, I think Combo Shira generally has a decent advantage against any sort of like Alistair deck, just because it can banish Invocation. I think Magician Girls are potentially like a tier 2 strategy. Like, maybe at the lower end, but I definitely think a lot of people don't recognize how strong the deck is. It's just got a really strong Karakuri matchup, and in a best of 1 format, having a good Karakuri matchup will tell, like, informs a lot about a deck's strength. So, Dark Magician, I think in best of 1, I think it loses to Karakuri, but like, uh, the fact that it has a good Shira matchup and like it beats both Shiras, and then Karakuri, excuse me, like I think anyone you talk to would agree that Karakuri beats Dark Magician. However, Dark Magician combo can beat anything. So Dark Magician, I think it's very solidly like a tier 3, like it's a strong tier 3 in best of 1 because like Dark Magician can sack anything, but like the reason why it doesn't go any further is because uh, Karakuri is such a strong like Karakuri just does what Dark Magician wants to do, but like it does it better. Okay, Lunalights. Lunalights might actually be. I think Lunalights are like half decent. They're gonna be in tier 4 as well, and here's the reasoning. Karakuri, like they make a full board, and then Saber Dancer is difficult for Karakuri to out. Yes, they can out it, but like, um, uh, but it's just they have to spend so many resources to out a Saber Dancer, whereas other decks don't have to spend as much. So like, I think strictly as a deck to cheese wins against Karakuri, and just like cheese wins in a best of 1 KC Cup format, it's like it can do something, but like it will beat Karakuri, and then it will lose to Crystron's, it will lose to Control Shira, it will lose to Combo Shira. Actually, maybe it doesn't do as bad against Control Shira, I'm not sure. But it definitely loses to Combo Shira. Back row decks, it probably just struggles against Dark Magician, I guess you beat. Witchcrafter, you ought to lose. You get the picture. But yeah, the stream is like taking a turn. Alright, so Sidra, and then Dragoonity. I think I think Dragoonity might also like fit in like the tier 4 range. So finishing up this tier list, I know everybody's going crazy in the chat, but like just to finish up this tier list for completion, Sidra, Dragoonity. Alright, let's go. Box review time, baby.